This is Duke University.
Thank you, President Broadhead. Class of 2013, this is a sacred moment. Now, for the first time in several years, we pause in a place where we rush to wake up and meet that dreaded 7:30 registration time, to race to the refectory to beat the line, to hurry to park in the Bryan Center parking lot early enough to beat event services. Let's do something very un-Duke-like. Let's take a moment to pause. John Milton wrote that gratitude bestows reverence, allowing us to encounter everyday epiphanies, those transcendent moments of awe that change forever how we experience life and the world. Amazingly, we found those sacred moments here, sometimes in unlikely places. Maybe you found yours on a spring night screaming for Smash Mouth at Old Duke. Or maybe your moment was quieter. A friendship formed while waiting and waiting and waiting for the C2 to come down Alexander. Some things never change. While interning in Washington, I met a 1983 Duke grad who agreed that he wished and bargained not to get assigned an Oregon apartment. But sometimes the moments are far more weighty. Of course, like that relief to mom and dad's checkbooks today. But rather, moments from our history when President Terry Sanford stood up for racial equality. From our present, when Angela Mace, a graduating doctoral student today, unraveled a centuries-old sonata. From surviving the 2010 rainstorm at graduate student campouts and rushing to go hear Karl Rove and Howard Dean battle it out in Page. Moments filled with laughter, moments filled with awe. Through each of them, we are challenged to find our voices, born in the crevice of Duke's identity as a place of innovation and a space of sacred leadership. Outrageous. Terry Sanford called Duke a place worthy of outrageous ambition. He meant this deeply Duke idea that doing what has been done before is just not good enough. And I hope that we will be seized by the impulse to go into the world and live at the crevice of innovation and the sacred. To live in the space where we're not afraid to create new ways of being, not afraid to take pause, to listen to the voices around us. Now, we've all done a lot of listening during our time at Duke, often when we'd rather not. We were called to pause when parties and student comments forgot that we are a place of many ethnicities and identities, and forgot again. We were called to pause for the 50th anniversary of African American students at Duke to remember that not so long ago, even Duke, even we were a different place. And so now, we are called to pause again. We cannot tell a story of now without first telling a story of us, the story that makes us fellow Dukies. Now, when we entered this place, we were all nervous. That 18-year-old first year climbing up the hot steps of Southgate with boxes, wondering why tuition here didn't cover air-conditioned dorms. Seriously. Wondering if that roommate would be anything like they seemed on Facebook. Or maybe as a 22-year-old first-year graduate student, unsure of how this would be different, what it means to be a so-called professional student. Like that one 70-year-old veteran who came back to finish his degree, wondering if these young people will even pay attention or ever invite him to Beach Week. Like my friend John, 65-year-old cardiologist who felt called to return to school to learn an entirely new career. For each of them, For all of us, this place looked different on day one than it looks today. It looked like outrageous ambitions, but today it looks like sacred moments. Because every now and then we've been marked by moments of pause. We paused when we lost Drew Everson, Matt Grape, and Andrew Cotby. We paused when we lost James Bonk, Pelham Wilder, and Susan Keefe. Our time at Duke has been marked by great confusion amidst shared comforts. Duke has been our here. This place our at home, except if home had a lot of parking tickets. We have woken up each day to the am and now of this university. And tomorrow, many of us will wake up where our now appears obsolete, like the Dillo and tailgate. And what is to come is present, like that construction zone known as the Bryan Center. But we know that before us lie new epiphanies, never rendering this place forgotten, but adding layers on the moments that have come before. May we be like our gargoyles, perhaps, faced backward, yes, in remembrance and gratitude, and forward in promise and courage. Remember this, just as in 1924, Buck Duke committed to these institutions his family held sacred, churches and children's homes, hospitals and schools. You alone can discern your sacred places. You alone can respond to the vocation that is yours. Whether it's running the world's most renowned philanthropic organization like Melinda Gates, or giving your life to public service like Senator Mo Cowan, or spending countless hours in a lab pushing the unknown into the known like Nobel laureate Bob Lefkowitz, it is our turn. Duke has prepared us to discern our vocations. Duke has taught us to pause for the sacred. Now, some moments will be completely unexpected. A beautiful sunrise in Peru on a spring break trip, that elephant ride in Monte Paul at Duke Engage, or that day you're walking onto the Senate floor where someone taps you on the shoulder and asks, "How do you like Duke?" If these kinds of things happen to you, you have that inner confidence that comes from having been a part of something extraordinary. To have chosen to go to that still young and gutsy school, that school at the base of the Piedmont, in the shadows of tobacco country, that place that from Trinity to Durham had outrageous ambitions and now spreads great love and builds great citizens. And maybe, well, just maybe you'll teach a new friend how to cheer when Duke is live on ESPN, and you can't stop thinking about that day when you waited for hours during the one rare and bizarre North Carolina snow just so you could see another win. Or maybe you'll find yourself sharing an elevator on Wall Street with someone wearing that same Duke ring. But maybe you'll be in a time of great need, in the hospital before surgery, only to be visited by a chaplain who too went to Duke. Or even maybe you'll be in the middle of your life, at the point when this place seems to be forgotten, and then a phone call from a college friend, a memory of your favorite LDOC, probably Jay Sean. You will be moved by memory, seized by a sense of pride that you spent these years of your life at this place that matters. You have become a person with outrageous ambition, serving the world with every day and every pause of your life.
Produced by Duke University. Online at duke.edu.